Alrighty, welcome back to Keep On Mining. I just realized, I mean, I don't think I left this on. I think this is just the mine doing some work for me here, which I am in love with. It's making something for me. We still haven't found our any more artifacts. We need 40,000 of the next thing on the list, and that next thing, I believe, is turning our Insium into Iridium. We actually almost have enough Insium, granted, so I'm willing to keep on mining right now. You've got into factory automation games lately, like Satisfactory and Dyson Sphere program. I don't think that like Satisfactory is like a spreadsheet game. It does require like some planning, but it's not like you gotta pull the spreadsheet out. It's more like you need to, like, you're a foreman and you're just kind of like standing being like, that should go there, that should go there. I love automation games at the beginning of the automation game when it's not too complicated, but I will be the first to admit that I'm not somebody who necessarily is fantastic at forward planning. So I'll put stuff down, I'll be like, this looks fantastic, but then if you ask me like, okay, so what are you going to do with those iron bars 20 hours from now of gameplay? I'll be like, that does sound like a problem for 20 hours from me. 20 hours from now, me, frankly. Yeah, we're going to keep on mining. This game is now out, by the way, in case anybody is interested. I think it came out like yesterday. I saw the announcement in their Discord server. It was just like an immediate drop. There wasn't like a countdown timer for it or anything like that. And to be honest, I get it. If you don't know like what happened to the game, due to like the, what do you call it, like, the regulations in like UK or Europe and all that kind of stuff that basically make it so that you have to give an ID for certain types of games. It's like backed up Steam's approval system like heavy, and they were really struggling to get. It's just a solo dev, to be fair. He was really struggling to get the game out at all. It had been like in limbo for like a month. They missed their release date by like 2 or 3 weeks, and yeah, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Second the game was available, he just dropped it, put it in the Discord. Happy to hear it, and I'm wishing all the best for this game. You've been to phase 4 or 5 in Satisfactory. It's been a long time since I played Satisfactory with my friends. I built like a tower in the sky that you climb up to send things into space and all that kind of jazz. I've done like a decent amount in Satisfactory. Obviously, never finished it. But in that regard, like I mean, this is something that I embrace in a big way. I am the stay-at-home dad of any survival game, open world kind of situation. Every time I've ever played like a game like Pal World or anything like that, I am in the base, just tidying things up, making things right, making sure that there's all the food is cooked for everybody when they come home, making sure that we're making a little bit of progress towards the research of later sections of the game, making sure that like got some armor going, everybody's got ammunition for the guns, all that kind of stuff, and that's how I get off in a big way. That's how I live my life in those games, and I big fan of it. If you played the Oblivion remaster, I played probably like up to the point where Patrick Stewart is murdered. Spoiler alert for a 25-year-old game, and then I think I was like distracted. I was playing it on the couch next to B, and then I was like, you know what, I'll put it down for a moment, and that was 2 days after it came out on Xbox Game Pass or whatever, or PC Game Pass. So haven't played it. I have like many fond memories because like, I mean, when that came out, I was playing on the Xbox 360, so it's not like I don't have like nostalgia tied to it. I did a lot. I played a lot of, if I could access my old Xbox thingy, and see how many hours I put into Oblivion, I don't think it's like gonna like frighten you, but it was probably like at least 80 hours on just the Xbox version of it. And back then, that blew my nuts straight off my body that games were doing stuff like that, man. Although that being said though, Oblivion does have, they are the ones to blame for me buying 2 Worlds, which on the cover, or on the back of the box, I'm pretty sure it said it was like multiplayer Oblivion on steroids, and I was like, ooh, that sounds great. So I bought it, and I was like excited to like try and play a little bit of it, and then convince my friend to buy it, and then us to have like a multiplayer Oblivion playthrough, because that wasn't possible back then. Imagine, if you will, the furthest thing from a good video game. Just imagine. It was not good. It was pretty much like that guy from Pulp Fiction, pretty freaking far from okay, man. It was bad. You know what's at the upgrades here? Because I think we are on the anvil. We need 40,000. Okay, you know what? We're working our way there. We're working our way there. I'd love like more spawns of that particular chunk, but it is a little bit spenny. I'm thinking maybe actually, you know, we keep on mining, we get ourselves at the very least the pickaxe upgrade, which I think would be good. I actually need to check how many. Is it iridium? No, is it? I think it is iridium, right? Ismium is the first one, and then iridium is the second one. How much we require to get the next one, which I think is it's not uranium, is it? But no. I'm not sure what the next one is. Panium? There's an element that's next up on the list that I need to check out. Dude, I don't know. Is anybody? I don't. Did anybody fall for Two Worlds? Because I know that like it was in like GDQ, like Games Done Quick, and it got like a bit of a cult following, and then a little resurgence because like Moist Critical decided to do like a. I think he might have done like a speed run of the game, because the thing was, and I remember, well, I don't remember it, but I remember the parts of the game was that like the end boss, like the final villain of the game, hangs around the starting village that you go to, and if you kill him there, you win. Like the game, the end cutscene plays. But obviously the issue is you're way too weak to beat him. So what you would do is you would hit him from really far away, and then run towards the starting town and like trick him or like force him to attack an NPC villager, like by like him casting a fireball and you moving out of the way and it's hitting a villager, and then every villager who were like incredibly strong would then pile him and kill him, and then when they kill him you get the kill credit for it. So yeah, so we just got the Crimson Sovereign. It's a little bit of an upgrade. Mining power is a decent chunk better. Mining area is slightly better as well. We love that. I'm gonna keep on mining. Okay, it does feel like it is mining considerably better. It does feel like we're going somewhere. I think it might be worth, just for the sake of the love of this kind of game, go back through. Let's do like a couple more of these, and then we're going to go back through the upgrade tree, and then just try and fill out all the blanks of things that we haven't quite gotten yet, because we maybe didn't have enough resources at the time. I do think that this game does obviously it's an active idle game, but at the same time I think there is some idle elements to it, because I logged in after having not played it for, I don't know, like 3 days or something, 2-3 days, and I was faced with quite a lot more resources than I remember leaving myself off with. But I didn't get a pop-up saying that it happened, or if I did, then I clicked off it insanely quickly by accident. But like, I think it does give me something. This is an incremental game. It's an incremental mining game, yeah, and it's a banger as well. It's really good. To be fair, the villagers in Two Worlds, sorry, they were not single digit, man. They were in the teens. There was maybe like 13, 14 of them, and they were wailing ass on the end villain. But they patched it out, so you have to play, like, if you want to do that speedrun nowadays, you gotta play on like a downgraded version of the game, which is hilarious. And honestly, like, you can't even really blame the developers. And I'm not bad. You can't blame them for patching it out, because that is a ridiculous thing to patch out. Because like, who even finds that out unless, I guess, like, there probably is like one kid. This is back on the Xbox 360. If you remember, there used to be like, you know, and you still get them, like Steam achievements or like Xbox achievements. There probably was like one guy who accidentally had that series of events play out, and then has like make your character, start the game, and then their only other achievement is like beat the final boss on their Xbox. And honestly, I'm thinking like, if you have those 2 or 3 achievements, or if you have no achievements but all you have is like beat the final boss, do you even go back to play that game, or is that like a kind of like check this out, check what I did, like a mark of honor, like a badge to be like, yeah. Okay, let's get that upgrade to upgrade the ore value there. We have all of this one done. Increase pickaxe stats. Could probably upgrade that as well. You're purchased. 500,000. 1% chance to add a second to the timer. I think that's probably pretty good. It's quite expensive, but at the same time, we probably want ore value, I'd guess, is what we're looking for. Rock spawn chance. I mean, that's pretty good, and it's not... It is quite expensive, though, now that I'm looking at it. Each pickaxe has a chance to spawn a pickaxe and mine a random rock. I don't know if that's what we want right now. I think ore value is where I want to be, but then that's 44k. I mean, it's not too bad, but we do need more of it if we're going to make that work. Ore value up, though. That's big. We want that. We'll take that for free. Not for free. We spent money on it. XP increase as well. That's like a decent chunk upgrade as well. 1 million of the iridium to unlock. Oh, it was painite. It was. I don't know why I thought everything ended with but yeah. It's 2025. Let's stop the dead blaming. I don't think we've ever been in like a more rich environment for blaming developers for things that happen in video games. So like, just take like one look at like everything that's going on with like pirate software situation. Like, people are thriving in that environment where you can blame a developer for something. They are loving it, Jerry. They're loving it. They love to do it. They can't help themselves. They're big fans. Big fans. You know what, man? Is it just like a permanent, here's what you get? I was hoping that it would eventually like maybe go into copper and then maybe go into other things as well. But you know what? I can appreciate that. We're not praising. Listen, I don't think that the guy's done nearly as much wrong as people give him credit for. I think that like he's had a couple blows to the ego and then just hasn't like curtailed to, you know, the fact that like it's not worth the hill you're dying on, you know. But we're in dev. I mean, I don't know. You couldn't catch. I'm not gonna say that like I'm easy to peer pressure, but I'm just saying like you couldn't catch me dying on that hill, man. You know what I mean? You couldn't catch me dying on that hill. So not worth even a little bit for me. I'm looking for red and I'm looking for blue. And I guess, you know what, at a pinch, maybe some green while we're at it. I have an idea for a Roblox game I'll sell for $5. Is it called Grow a Garden 2? That's, you know what, I think that's the crazy, you know, I'm coming back round on Roblox a little bit here. There is, I mean, I think that Roblox at its core was a fantastic idea. Like I wouldn't say I was like an early player of Roblox, but I played Roblox like many years ago when, like, I don't know, probably like 10, 15 years ago. And I thought it was a fantastic idea because my general thing on it was like, oh, it teaches like kids to code, and like even though it's like Lua, which I mean, unless you're coding like Gary's mod servers, like I don't know how valuable that is. Software developers, you can come into the chat or come into the YouTube comments and tell me like how valuable the Lua language is. Because I'm sure, I mean, to be fair, I'm certain that like there's plenty of like transferable things that you get from that. I mean, like even if like people that I've talked to, and because I like learned a little bit of JavaScript, and people that I spoke to are like, I hate Java. Like, you should probably learn like, I don't know, C++ or something else, right? But at the same time, I'm like, well, is it useless information? They're like, no, because like the phrases will change. It will work a slightly different way, but at the end of the day, like all you're doing is like removing. You're just swapping phrases and commands and stuff like that. But like, you know what, you can do something with it. So I thought, oh great, like Roblox teach kids to code, that's fantastic. We're gonna have like a generation of super geniuses in the future, because like, you know, people want to, it's never been easier to make video games. And what do kids love? They love video games. What do adults love? Video games. And then, you know, then obviously there's like things about like child slavery and like kids getting ripped off and all that kind of stuff, and like business people coming in and basically buying games out from under children because they don't really know the value of money or understand it particularly. And it's like, okay, well that's kind of bad. But I thought that at the very least, like the quality of game would improve. And I think in some cases, if you look hard enough, you'll find things that do. I played like a game called Ink Game or something, which is a Squid Game ripoff on Roblox, and I was like, this is actually quite well made. There's like cutscenes, there's like all this kind of stuff, and you know what, at the end of the day, if you love Squid Game, you're gonna love it. I don't know what to tell you. But then some of the most popular stuff on there is like a game like Grow a Garden, and then I guess there's nothing like inherently wrong with it, because it is kind of like almost an idle game. But when I mean idle, I mean like you do something and then you sit and wait for 5 minutes of real life time until like you're allowed to do something again. And that is nuts, that like so many people not only play it, but like spend a considerable amount of money on it. I guess it's just like Farmville for the alphas, like the alpha generation. Because you know that your grandmother or your mother was like dropping $8 for some seeds on Farmville, and they're spending £3.50 to grow their papaya tree that takes like 16 hours of real life time in Roblox as well. But it is literally just like sit at a desk, wait for a shop to upgrade or like to restock with seeds, see if there's one that you want, rinse and repeat, man. And that is like it. I'm not kidding, man. It's very, very strange to me that so many people have been like, yeah, hell yeah, that's it, that's the one, that's the ticket for me. But listen, I just don't get it, and that's my fault. It's not anybody else's. But there's got to be good stuff out there. There has to be. I don't believe that there isn't. Sure. Some more iridium. Shop restocks on Neopets are pretty exciting in the same idea. You know what? You make a good point there. What I will say as a retort to that, what you're saying to me right now, is that at the very least, right, Neopets in and of itself wasn't quite a game. It was like a social platform that had games on it. But like, I think we can argue that like when you're doing the bit to bit, you know what? Reduce the skill tree upgrade. 7% over time could be very valuable to me. Like yeah, when you're looking after your pet, it's not like a game. I guess like maybe you could consider it, but it was like it was a social platform. You join a guild, you talk on forums, blah blah blah. Or it was like a single player game in isolation. You're just like, but I mean, you couldn't buy really anything without interacting with another player, whether they're probably not online. But if you wanted a specific item, you had to search the marketplace and find a player-owned shop that had the item that you were looking for. So if you wanted like a paintbrush or something like that, congratulations, buddy, you're hitting the trading post, you're hitting whatever. But I guess like you're right. To be fair, I used to like. I mean, I did this as an adult as well. I did like when I was probably like 18 or 19 years old. My like high school girlfriend or whatever. I was like, we should make Neopets accounts. And she was like, okay, fine. She never heard of Neopets. She never played Neopets. But I was like, I wanna. So cut to me, like, finding Neopets bots to snipe restocks in shops and, like, selling the proceeds on so that I could finally become a Neopets millionaire. And I did become a Neopets millionaire, which is something that I'd wanted to do since I was probably, like, 7 or 8 years old. And I lost interest because, like, cheating just kills any aspect of fun of a game. If I'm like ever tempted to cheat in a video game in some way, and it doesn't have to be like particularly mental, it just has to be like me turning on no clip for 5 minutes, I know for a fact that is going to murder any and all interest I have in continuing to play that game. And that's super sad and unfortunate, but it is like just the way my brain is coded. It's like, oh, I have the ability to do anything, and then so I choose to do nothing. I must have had 30 or 40 million, but never cheated. Yeah, I mean, I could do that as an adult, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it would be like crazy difficult. There's still websites for doing all the dailies, and like, you know, I think I can make a solid amount of money in the game. It's just that like for a 7 or 8 year old playing Neopets, like 1 million Neo points seemed impossible because you would spend it on nonsense, you know? You would spend it on complete and utter nonsense for no reason whatsoever. You go to a store and you see like an item that's like kind of expensive, but you don't really have it. You can't. You're not smart enough to go back and compare it to what other people are selling it for, and you end up overpaying on some nonsense you just see in someone's shop just because. So I don't know. And that was back when the game was absolutely popping. I can't even imagine what it's like these days. I wonder if like inflation is taking hold or not. I think I was 11 or 12. I still have my Neopets girlfriend on Facebook. She has like, I think like 5 or 6 children and runs a flower shop now in like Salt Lake City, Utah. Hit me up. She actually messaged me probably like last year, being like, I was telling my kids about you the other day, and I was like, but she was real, much to the chagrin and the denial of my friends in primary school who were like convinced that I was making it up. And I was like, no, I swear to God, she's real. She was real. Never met her, barely spoke to her, but she was real. Imagine being referred to as someone's Neopets girlfriend. Yeah, it's not exactly a flex. Something that we go bragging about these days, but it did happen, man. It did happen. People have like, I don't know, man. People probably like met their wife on Dofus or whatever, and then they have to be like, oh, this is my Dofus wife. This is my life husband. What? Plenty of RuneScape boyfriends and girlfriends out there, I imagine. She's in Utah. We're neighbors. Yeah. Salt Lake City, Utah. She's a Mormon, from what I can gauge. From what I remember. Don't know if she still practices, but that's about all the information that I could remember. Her name was Mary. That's it. Don't remember her second name. Actually, I have her on Facebook. I should remember her second name. That's really bad that I don't. But I don't really use Facebook anymore, so I don't know what to tell you. My Club Penguin polyamorous relationship. I joined a polycule through Habbo Hotel, yeah. All the things that, all the normal sentences that human beings should be talking about, or should be saying. Yes, this is my ethical non-monogamy boyfriend that I met on IMVU. I gotta be honest, man. When I was a child, for whatever reason, man, through no fault of my own, I guess like I had a couple of like online American girlfriends that I think back on, I'm just like, what? I mean, I guess I was just because I wasn't spending time like going out and talking to human beings, but I don't even recall having like that much interest in girls. I think that's just me assuming back then, just being like, oh, I'm friends with a girl, so I guess that I must make them my girlfriend on the internet. I do remember I used to play this game called Estonia 3, which is like an isometric. I mean, it starts with an A. You should Google it and have a look at what it looks like. ASTONIA 3. And I was partying with somebody who had just had a girl avatar in that game, and I was playing with them every day during like the free trial. And this is like in the very early 2000s, maybe even could be late 90s. And this was a tough game, so we stuck together on that one. And you could get married in that game, and I remember like thinking in my head like, oh, I think I have a crush on this person. And it wasn't until like years later that I was like, that person was definitely an adult man. So I'm very glad that I didn't end up in any strange situations in that regard. pretty blessed in that. Pretty blessed thinking about that one. It took me maybe, I mean, I was a kid. I couldn't have been older than 10. But just thinking about how, first of all, like, no concept of online safety, because, like, I guess, like, broadband and the internet were kind of, like, new and novel. But just that people wouldn't lie on the internet about who they are and what gender they are or whatever, I suppose, was just a foreign concept to me. You guys had a lot of fun online. Yeah, I did. I mean, I wasn't always, I'm just telling you the times I put myself maybe into like a stranger danger situation. It wasn't always that way. You know, I'd say like 99% of the time I was pretty safe online doing my thing, you know? It wasn't a big deal. Yeah, you know what, we'll go for you. We didn't 8 million for that, man? Oh, mamma mia. I'll pick you up. I'm gonna buy, oh, there's nothing that comes out of that, okay. We need 930,000 to get the pay night. 93k. We'll just keep buying you. Total XP from rocks. Love it. That's a big jump up actually. We should be spending our thing on that. You have all my respect for mentioning Habbo Hotel. Yeah, I think I was talking about Habbo Hotel actually, funnily enough, the last time I played this game. It was like really, I mean, I was in the Fallen Fernie's room every day of the week, man, just trying to get myself like that gel chair or something, just something that I could use as leverage to make my way up in the world. I didn't have the power of credit cards at my disposal, so we were bums, man. We had to make our way up. Honest to God, don't know why people even bothered doing those rooms, because like they were just giving stuff away for free, and it was kind of like, it was very much like the gladiatorial coliseums, where it's like people, they're just like, I'm just gonna watch people. And to be clear, me and my friends would do it as well. We would open rooms in Habbo Hotel that was like free Fernie if you like answer 3 questions in a row, and we would advertise it as such, and all you had to put in the title was like free Fernie, for furniture by the way, and people would come and knock in, right? It was a fantastic way. So you'd put free Fernie, you'd sit behind a desk in a room, and then what we would do is we would say, if you can answer 3 questions, trivia questions in a row, we will give you however much money, like a couple quid worth of furniture. People would be like, sure. They have nothing to lose, they're not spending anything here. We'd say you'll have 10 seconds to answer the question. First question would be like, what is 10 times 10? 100. Correct. Second question. Something else really simple. What is the capital of America? Washington, D.C. Sure. Cool. Third question. It would be like, what is William Shakespeare's, like something that a child would know. It would be like an insanely hard question that would be difficult to Google in the space of time that was required to answer the question. It had to be something like very specific. What was the 1979 Stevie Wonder track that hit #1 of the US top 100 billboards? Sorry, the answer was Superstition. I don't know what the answer was. I don't think Superstition is 1979. Superstition, song by Stevie Wonder. 1972. This was a period of time where Ask Jeeves was a thing. So I guess you probably could have, but I know you could buy credits for, like, you could phone up and have it put on your account, but like, I wasn't about to risk a hiding, if you know what I'm saying. But there was so many stupid stuff in Habbo, man. I remember like you had to like you could apply for jobs in the game. So you go to some room and then you would apply for a job there, and then you had to like work for like weeks of real life time to get the possibility of a promotion. And they would give you like a salary, but the salary would be like the one piece of the shittiest furniture you've ever seen in your entire life, per like 8 hours you've been on the room. And then at that point, I don't even, there's no, like there's not even any point, man, because like the whole thing is you're just like role playing as like a police officer, and then people are role playing coming in to like report a crime or something, and you're like, okay, let me take you through. You're basically like role playing bureaucracy, like that was it. And they would give money, well, they give like 10 pence to an 11-year-old once per week or something, and that was fine. That was just normal, apparently. And you know what I mess with heavy though? And people are either gonna go crazy on this, or they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" Puzzle Pirates, bro. Puzzle Pirates. They had they had a paid subscription to play that game, but they would offer a free trial. I don't need to tell you how many times I made a new account on that game so that I could play Puzzle Pirates, man. Getting on board a ship, joining a crew, so that I could go out onto the high seas, eventually get into a sword fight with an enemy ship, steal all their booty, and then end up landing at port, and then realizing that like because I'm a free account, I do not get even one iota split of the booty that we have like come across, you know. But I wasn't paying for it. You couldn't have caught me paying for it, but because I'm 9 years old. But oh brother, the rush. The rush of seeing the other people be the victor and come the spoils, man. I only remember the puzzle for moving water from the boat. Yeah, that was the one where you would have like a bunch of different shapes and you had to put the shapes onto the hole and then fill it up. There was also like a match 3 one kind of thing. It was like basically just Tetris, but that was the sword fighting one. There was a similar one where it was kind of like Dr. Mario, but it was for like wind or something. And I'm struggling to remember the other ones, but it was a good time. It was a good time. Being on one of the mini games that you didn't like though was painful, you know? It hurt. It sucked. You didn't want to be there. You didn't want to be doing that, but you had to. Unfortunately, you had to do what the captain said, you know? Because otherwise you'd be keel-hauled. Curse of Monkey Island was my favorite pirate puzzle. Yeah, this was multiplayer though. There was something, even from a young age, man, my ass knew that like multiplayer was the future. If like I didn't get the satisfaction in Puzzle Pirates of like when I knock out another pirate on another ship, knowing that there is another 9-year-old possibly on the other side, or even dare I say an adult man on the other side who's getting his ass beat by me and the boys, who is probably furious that the last like 25 minutes of their life or more of them transporting goods across the sea has completely gone to waste. I don't know. I didn't think I wanted to know. That being said though, it also came with its fair share of trauma. Me accidentally wandering north of Edgeville Monastery in RuneScape, back before it was old school, back before it was RuneScape 3, and not having the level for protect from missiles, and just wandering, like some guy with like the worst range gear you've ever seen on, just pinging me with a bow, and me panicking like you've never seen before. I'm getting lost, I'm losing my bearings, I don't know which way to go. I keep running back on myself. All I have to do is run south, but I do not have the mental wherewithal to do that, and I'm just panicking, and he's pinging me, and I die, and oh man, it hurt, man. It hurt. The fact that I still remember it, it evidently has carved its name on my heart and on my soul, and we just got to work around it. I played Battlefield 1942. We were in a clan that got banned by so many online tournaments. Not because we cheated, because we were a stunt clan. We were all about just doing stunts, jumping jeeps and tanks, wing walking, doing loops and planes. So you just made a shambles of the competitive environment. I was in a Hidden Dangerous 2 clan. I honest to God, I don't even know why I was in a Hidden Dangerous 2 clan, if I can be honest with you. Because like that, it was like the laggiest game you've ever seen on my computer. But I was just like determined to try and play it because it felt like, because everybody in it was nice. And as such, I was like, I have an inbuilt need to belong somewhere. So the Death Squad, I'd be rooting for them and all that. I still got some of them on Facebook, which is mental, man. But like, I don't think I actually got to play in one of the clan battles because my computer just could not hack it. It was not. It wasn't working for me. But it was great, man. I got like the first like, oh, a girl my age is playing this game. I got it out of the way early of like having a crush on a girl in a video game that you play with. And then the whole thing of like, actually she likes girls, and I was like, oh, okay. Like 12-year-old me, or like 11-year-old me, 12-year-old me. We got all that awkwardness out of the way like super duper early before like, the actual internet age, I suppose. Bosh. But those guys introduced me to RuneScape, I think. Actually, no, maybe no. I think I maybe played. I think I got me back into RuneScape because I hadn't played it in years. Because I played it in primary school, and then I played it with them. And one of the guys, like the officers in Hidden Dangerous 2, he was like, "You can play on my members account if you want. You just have to do like tasks for me." So I would be like his little chore bitch in the game, but it meant that I got to run around and see cool member shit, which was awesome. It was a good time. I didn't get to like do any of the fun stuff that you got to do in RuneScape, like killing stuff, but like he was like, all right, what I need you to do, because he like back in RuneScape you had like jobs. So like you'd go on the forums and somebody'd be like, I am buying all snape grass, and then they'd have like a company that only sells like snape grass, and you had to get snape grass. And people would come to these people and be like, I need snape grass for hair blower. I need 1,000 snape grass. And they'd be like, all right, let me go speak to my workers. All the workers, guys, how many snape grass you got? Okay, I need you guys to trade this to me. I'll give you the money, and then I'll go sell it to this person. And that was kind of how it worked. So like, I dare say, I probably spent 6+ hours of my life sitting in Taverley, where the snape grass spawn was, clicking on the ground, waiting for it to spawn. So you might be thinking, Ross, Hot Worlds? Nope. I just sat waiting for it, man. Sat waiting for it to spawn. Because if I didn't do that chore for him, he wouldn't let me on the account. So that was the gauntlet you had to run. You had to put in the work. I never got to reap the dividends of playing that game on that members account to do anything fun. I was just the chore bitch the entire way down. All I was doing was the chores, and that is at the end of the day, it's a bit, but still. Need 65,000 green. 15 million of you, 1 million of you. We're coming close to the end of the pickaxes here, dead. We need more green though. You became the potato baron on Black Desert Online. Put what little economics knowledge you taught me to good use. I'm glad that that degree's getting some dust brushed off it. Black Desert Online seemed to me the coolest concept in a game that I had ever seen. Where like, you know, like there's you can build an empire of any old nonsense and kind of just become the guy for that. And like you can take over territories and do all that, but then after you know, maybe 10-20 hours of playing, you realize that like I don't have the lack of a life required to make this happen, nor do I have the group of people required to make this happen, nor do I have really any knowledge of like the bureaucracy of doing all of this to begin with? So I'm gonna go back to killing. I'm go back to leveling up and killing things and stuff like that. Plus, the leveling system is weird in that game. There's max level, but then there's like max level +1, +2, +3, if I remember rightly. It's like you hit the cap, and then, but you can still level up in a way, kind of, from doing stuff. Yeah, soft cap. Very strange. I feel like at that point you just don't have a level cap. Well, I guess it doesn't have a level cap, but there's a soft cap on it, I guess. MapleStory kind of does that as well, but they do have a max level, which is 300, which only like one guy has gotten, and that's Nero. And he played all day, every day with like frenzy totems, which are incredibly rare and expensive and literally removed from the game. Like you cannot get a frenzy totem anymore because they were deemed like game breaking. Because they increased the spawn rate of enemies on a map, which is too overpowered if you one shot everything, because like you just have like, and it's an unlimited use. So people like sell services of that game, and it is literally all that happens is you whisper a guy, you see, I want to buy frenzy totem for 2 hours. They might be like, oh, it's 3 hour, 4 hour minimum. You go, okay. And then once every hour, a guy will come into your map, press one button, leave, and you have to pay like 100 mil or something, or 10 mil. I don't know how much it is. It's probably not 100 mil. But this guy's whole thing is he just goes map to map to map, just teleporting, pressing one button, going to the next one. And it's mental. But if you don't have that, you'd stand no chance of actually contending with being high level. And this guy, he got to like 299, 99.998%, which is took like decades of work, I think. And MapleStory sent him a package. They like tweeted about how he's about to hit it. Everybody flocked to his stream to see the world first level 300 player. And then what did he do? He spent like 20 to 30 minutes talking about how much the game sucks, how they're ruining the game, and he will not hit level 300 unless they make changes, and then logged off. And he did not hit 300. It took like, it was weeks and weeks later when he finally hit 300. The person that tweeted out about Nero getting level 300 got fired as well for embarrassing the company, and like it was a disaster, man. It was a disaster, but it was spicy, man. It was good. And I'd been watching Nero for a while. Like when me and my friends like played a lot of MapleStory, we always had him on in the background because we were convinced that that guy was going to play that game to his grave. It was bananas how much this guy was playing. Probably slept like 3, maybe 4 hours a day max. Get up, sit on a bouncy ball, like a medicine ball, not a medicine ball, a yoga ball, bounce up and down while pressing one button on a map for the next 18 to 20 hours, and then do that again. $272,000. We still need 1 million for that though. I mean, maybe I feel like I want to get the next upgrade on the pickaxe, but then in reality, I think just unlocking the next material is probably the smartest thing for me to do here. Took him so many years to get there. Yeah. The nearest person to Nero is like absurdly far away compared to they are, right? I got no idea. I mean, I guess like he streams, so he does support himself on that. But like it is literally not something that is doable as a human being unless like you either made of money and are retired and you're like, I'm dedicating the next 15 years to this one task, or like you are streaming it or making content of it in some way. And it's not really content because it is literally just him. Like he even play like another video game on the side while he plays it. But he won't be streaming that video game. He'll just be like there bouncing while playing it. you could be on disability or something. I guess. Yeah, you either like need the support of something or someone. But it's so unfathomably monotonous, and I know I'm saying that, knowing that I'm playing this game, but this game is like, I guess this game is giving big number go up, and actually very similar dopamine to what MapleStory offers. But I'm not planning on playing this every day, all day, every day for the next 20 years. But I was alive. I lived long enough to see Nero hit 300. Or I was in the right time at the right place at the right time to see it happen. Not everyone can say that. Not everyone can say that. But I think the next one probably hate him. He's made an arsehole of them. But that's just like more respect. More respect. Keep on manning, baby. Still gotta look for red. We're still missing a single artifact, and it's annoying me because we just haven't found it yet. Or maybe we have, and I just haven't realized. Angles Leonhardt? I just received my invitation to playtest Wall World 2, and I must thank you for introducing me to this game. Yeah. World War 2 out so soon? Wait, when was the last? How many years has it been since I played World? I didn't feel like it would have been that long, but it must have actually been probably like 2 years since I played World War 2. I feel like I gotta get on that, man. I played a lot of World War 1. Is it still in a wall, or have they changed the game up? Guys, we're doing Wall World 2. This time, it's on the ground. It's on the ceiling. I don't think it's out. I think he said invite you to a playtest, so it's probably like an alpha or something, right? I would imagine. Yeah, sounds like the most boring man in existence, though. Like, yeah, but like, I will say that, like, much like how I am, if you're doing like a monotonous task in the background, just playing another game and you're not like completely engaged with it in any regard. Like Nero was good because when I was grinding in MapleStory, if I just put him on my other monitor, it felt like he was in it with me. So I'm like torturing myself, like, oh my god, I'm like still like 20% for the next level, and like, oh my god, and then I gotta go do my cubes, and I gotta go do all this stuff. I gotta set out my hexagons or whatever. It felt like he was in it with me, struggling alongside me. No, it's not out yet, but you're registered for playtesting. Ooh, reach level 80, achievement unlocked. Huge. I do wonder if there's something like fundamentally wrong with my brain that this is a game that I lock in on. Like I wish like there's an alternative universe where I lock in this hard on like playing like CS 1.6 or something and end up being like the next simple or something, you know? By the time CSGO comes out, I'm already absolutely zooted and booted. Or like I go crazy mode and end up being like the absolute goat at Valorant, you know? Or League of Legends, I suppose, but it's a shame though. When I think about like how, you know, Faker is like the undisputed kind of like GOAT of League of Legends and like kind of esports, I have to always think in my head like how funny it would be if it was like some kid from like Falkirk, Scotland. If he, for whatever reason, was like the unbridled GOAT, like pulling in like 10 mil contracts for professional teams and like basically propping up an entire industry from his existence, right? Like imagine the boom to esports nationally that South Korea gets by their team being the best in the world, right? imagine that everything was flipped and it was like Paisley, Scotland somehow produced like the all-star team back-to-back 5 times world's winner of League of Legends, right? What the hell would happen to that town? Paisley is like slightly outside Glasgow, right? But like, what would that do to a town with a population of like 25,000 people, man? like, like, what is the population of Paisley? 2024. Let's see, 2024. 77,000. Actually, it's kind of like, it's not bad. It's the largest town, I think, in Scotland. Yeah, it's the largest town in Scotland. Fifth largest settlement in the country, but it's not a city. What if we choose somewhere like slightly different? Population of like Arbroath. 23,000 people. Imagine Arbroath, a little seaside town north of Edinburgh, on the other side of the water. Would like an entire esports industry like pop up in that backwater tiny little village? Like, well, it's not, it's a tiny little village, it's a town, but yeah. That campfire's still carrying. That campfire's still doing absolutely nothing and has been doing nothing since like 6 hours in the past of previous game time. But like, it's all well and good that like, oh, everything is taking place in Seoul, because that's already like an incredibly dense dense city in a, I guess it's not very densely populated South Korea. Is it? It feels like it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like most countries, right? Like Tokyo and Osaka are probably like 90% of the population of the country, and then I don't know, you go out to Sendai or go all the way to the north to the, what, I can't remember what it's called, you go Hokkaido or whatever, then it's a stark comparison. But at least in Scotland, it's like Glasgow, Edinburgh, kind of Dundee, kind of Aberdeen, whatever. That's like where everybody is. And then beyond that, it's like, the hills have eyes. I think I'd be terrified of living in a small town. I quite like the anonymity that like living in a city provides, even though like Glasgow is kind of like, people call it like the biggest village in the world, or like, you know, because like you're never more than like 2 or 3 degrees of separation from any other person. Like if you're from Scotland, if you're in Glasgow and you see a Glaswegian person in town, you can almost with 100% certainty be like, I don't know that person, but I probably know someone who knows someone who knows that person. You're never that far removed from any other guy, you know? But I wouldn't like it if that was genuinely the case. If I lived in a population, like a village of like 3,000 people, or less, God help, I feel like my dumbass would be a pariah for whatever reason, man. Just being like that weird internet kid that lives in the hovel or something like that. Like I went to like an 11-year-old's birthday party. Got enough for this now. Let's go. Like on Tuesday, and the kids were very excited to. Oh, I didn't even need to go that far, man. The kids were very excited to meet me, because I am YouTuber and all that kind of stuff. And like B's little brother had definitely gassed me up way more than they had any right to do. And it's, I gotta be honest, dude. Like. Yeah, you know what? Let's spend that. It's super awkward telling adults about what like I do as a job or whatever. But it's like, I think it actually works talking to kids about it, because they find it way cooler, but they also think it's way lamer, because they kind of have like a general idea of what it is that goes on. So when you're like, they're like, what do you play? And I'm like, well, I used to play like a lot of League of Legends. Now I mostly play like incremental idle clicker games and stuff like that. They're like, oh, so you don't play Fortnite? No. You don't play Roblox? No. You don't even play Minecraft? And you're like, but there's still they still romanticize the idea of being in the vicinity of a YouTuber. So like, one of the parents did come up to me and was like, "You have a patience that is hard to come by, and I just wanted to tell you that." And I was like, it is honestly fine, because like, it was like 4 or 5 children were like attached to me for like multiple hours, asking me lots of questions, and like also like trying to make me laugh, because if they make me laugh, then they can, I guess in their head, they can brag about how they made a YouTuber laugh. And I was laughing. It wasn't like real laugh, apart from when that 9-year-old looked me in the eye and said like, "Do the cream pie challenge," and I was like, oh my god. He was not talking about that, but in my head I was like, what did he just say? But yeah, I don't know, man. It's very strange. It's strange. I think I got like a decent amount of patience though, but it can be a lot when they laser beam focus in on you. One of them did call me cringe as well, because he was like, "Oh, my brother showed me a picture of you on like Google," and he was like, "Oh, we need to find it," and then he was like asking for like B's phone, that he was like, "Just look up RossBoomsocks cringe," and then and I was like, "Alrighty, man, alrighty." And then he was like, "How many subscribers do you have?" And I was like, I have like, you know, a 6799 now, but I was like, about 800,000-ish. And then his sister was like, "I bet you don't even have 2 subscribers. I bet you have 0 subscribers." And I was like, "No, I have some subscribers. I've got a couple." She's like, "No, you don't." And I was like, "You're right." When he said cream pie challenge, he was like a cream pie like that you eat, I guess, but he's like talking about putting it in someone's face, not the other type of cream pie, which we are, as all adults, immediately look to because we're not children. He wasn't saying anything unbecoming or untoward. It's just that like, I just like turned around and looked at B and was like, they do, to be honest though, like, yeah, they do, like, they all, I'm not gonna lie, like, this goes back to the Roblox conversation earlier, but like, all of the games that they play are complete and utter bullshit, right? Because like, I play games with B's little brother, right? Because like, you know, it means a lot to me that like, you know, I get on, I mean, he's like 11, it's not difficult to get on with an 11-year-old, he's a cool kid as well, but like, I'll, you know, be like, "Do you want to play Roblox or whatever?" And he loves it, and because he loves it, she loves it, that we're getting on, and that I helped her find a way to connect with her brother, which is through playing Roblox. But the games, man, the games. Some of the games I'm chill with, like Blox Fruits, that's cool, man. Be a pirate, roam around, get fruit, kill things. It's a bit grindy, but like at its core fundamental, I played enough MapleStory to know that's a video game, grinding and all. I'm down with it. But then I moved on to like Grow a Garden, and I was like, we're sitting around like quite a long time, doing nothing for the most part. And then it was like steal a brain rot, and I'm like, brother, like, you know, not only is it like another game where you kind of just sit around and wait for things to happen, but like if you're not paying like full attention, some little bastard is gonna come right in and rob your bombardillo crocodile. Like, I don't know what are they? I don't know what half of them. I completely skipped like that Italian brain rot meme thing. So like, and I feel like I'm my parents, man. I feel like the shit that I was saying as a kid has finally come back to haunt me, man, because I missed the brain rot thing completely. So like, it is nonsense to me, but they think it's really funny. I like kind of vaguely know some of the names, and when I was at like a birthday party and B's little brother was there, I did like pull up a picture of like Tung Tung Sahur, because that was one that I remembered, and I just slid it across the table to him, and he was like, "Ah, right, yes, looked at it, he like perused it a little bit, and then he took my phone, he typed in something, and he handed me back like a cappuccino thing with a Naruto headband on it, and I was like, yes, yes. Me pretending I have any fucking idea. I know what I'm talking about here. Yes, let me ruminate on this for just a moment, good chap. I know it's nonsense, but like, it wouldn't be popular if people didn't find it funny, right? And it's like just like YouTube poop for like the generation below mine. I don't mind the grind. I'm not saying I don't mind the grind, right? But like the thing is that like I usually like would appreciate the grind coming with some gameplay, right? Grow a Garden in Roblox has like a bajillion people playing it, and it's all just people like standing around waiting for a shop to restock. You know, they would. I honestly, man, we need to introduce these kids to idle games. They would go crazy on that. But that being said, though, like, I don't know who started. But I guess the thing is that like, much like Call of Duty KDAs were when I was in high school, like, I suppose the state of your Roblox garden is it's a currency thing, man. It's like it's a status, you know? That's what it's all about, man. You get like a sick ass swagged out thingy, your social currency is going through the roof. Should have shown them Dress to Impress. I can play Dress to Impress. It's like fundamentally a game, right? It's like it's like a social thing as well. Like I'm like, that's fine, right? That's totally fine. That is a video game. It kind of is trying to nickel and dime you like at any given point, which is like, I don't know, man, whatever. But yeah, it's a game. Like, I get it. You dress your character up for a theme. Now, granted, when I have played it, it does appear that like the theme is optional, right? Like people they do their thing and they make their character, but then it's like, what the fuck? What theme is this? They're just like, oh, I don't even. They don't understand what the theme is, so they just do whatever they want to do, right? Sure, you're getting a 1 star, but like nevertheless, I get what you're saying. But I mean, I think that's fallen off, man. Like even B's like 7-year-old like niece doesn't care about Dress to Impress anymore, but she's like all in on Grow a Garden. And I'm like, man, why? You know, like, I guess at the very least it's not like we've mined 200,000 rocks, so let's go. I guess it's not like it's not a gambling light game, which I suppose is something, but I just think like, you know what, maybe it's good, because like I suppose like the bar for gameplay is so low that when somebody comes out with a Roblox game that actually has some gameplay in it, they're gonna lose their minds, man. They're gonna go crazy, or if they actually play a video game. I guess that's why like some parents, when they introduce their child to video games, they'll introduce them like year by year in order of the consoles that they played when they were younger. So like maybe like they'll be like, oh, when my son turned 5, I let him play Pong on the Atari 2600s. And then like we started with Pong, Centipede, Joust, then we moved on to like, you know, the Jaguar, 5200. We moved on to like the Sega Mega Drive, Sonic the Hedgehog 1, etc., Super Fantasy Zone, X Mutants, then etc., etc. You move, and then in 10 years time you're on, I don't know, the PS4 or something like that. It's probably a lot, well, I don't know about cheaper, but I guess as well, if you own a PC, you could do that and then not have to buy anything. You could just be like, I have an emulator. I have a terrible Packard Bell computer that I've been using for the last 8 years on my child that is, it has every console up to like the late 2000s on it. Not introducing them to Dig Dub as criminal. Oh, listen, that's one that lays bearing with you. I'm having to come up with the games that are 20 years old for a console I barely played off the top of the dome while also maintaining a train of thought. It's not as easy as you would maybe believe. Me when I introduced my 6-year-old child to Alundra 2 on the PlayStation 1. Them learning that there was never an Alundra 3, nor have I ever played Alundra 1. The holy cheese! We finally got another artifact. What does it even do, man? Every pickaxe it has a 0.23% chance to drop 1 ore. Wish there was a way to upgrade the artifacts. That'd be pretty swag. We need 15 milli here to do the next pickaxe. This is strange. So we got the gem car. 30 million, 10 million. Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. We're almost there though, to be fair. I like that idea, like an accelerated evolution of consoles all leading up to Roblox. But that would be like that would be like that would be devolution though. Imagine that you did that idea, right? Every year you like upgrade your child to like a different console as their brain develops, whatever. And I'm not saying like this thing is gonna like, you know, be the thing that raises them, right? A little bit of like supervised bonding time with your child. They like to press buttons, and especially if it's Pong. Pong is not gonna rot their brains, okay? It's gonna maybe actually improve their brains because it's like they gotta think about going where the ball is going and not where it is currently, kind of thing. But there's a lot of video games that are quite old that, you know, do have a lot of merit to them. I mean, like Summoner 2 on PlayStation 2, man. I'd still probably run it back on that one again because I really enjoyed that game. But imagine doing all of that, right? And then at the end of it, being like, now let me show you Roblox. And they've been going through grand adventures. Everything from like Final Fantasy 4 to Blue Dragon on the Xbox 360. Persona 3, you've been hitting them with Shin Megami Tensei on the MS-DOS for fuck's sake, and then you drop them into Grow a Garden, and the objective of the game is to stand still and wait for a stock to reshot, man. They might swing at you immediately. They might swing for you. I don't know. What a devolution of the whole situation. What a shame. That being said, though, I feel like if you were to do something like that, you might be raising a social pariah. On purpose as well. Because, like, I do think that, like, if your kid's like 9 years old, 8 or 9 years old, and like he goes to school, and his friends are talking about Roblox and whatever, they're talking about Grow a Garden, and your friend's like, oh, I never played Grow a Garden, but like, my dad like introduced me to Digital Demon Shin Megami Tensei. It's like this story about the end of the world, and it's blah 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 and all this. They'd probably like think that was like hella gay or whatever kids are saying these days, you know? Mundo, thank you very much for this, I appreciate it greatly. I don't know, man. I don't know what kids like, they would probably think it's lame as fuck, bro. They would not fuck with it, and you're just like making a child a social pariah for no reason. But that is good stuff, man. I remember one of the first games I played with school friends besides RuneScape. Dude, Battle On, man. Battle On, Adventure Quest. They call them chopped. Is that what the kids are saying these days? I'm just taking it back to like when I was a kid and the things that kids would say to me. And especially when you're going through like a bit of like a weird, I don't know like if I ever was, I don't know what I am, man. I think that's the issue. That's always been a tough one for me, especially like in high school. I don't know, very confusing sexual times, I suppose. But then like, you don't know what you are, man. Still don't know what I am. Kids say some nasty things though. My dad casually getting his children into Kingdom Hearts when they're like 8. They don't have the brain capacity to get into Kingdom Hearts. There's like literally 0% chance. I, as like a 28-year-old playing Kingdom Hearts 3, did not understand in any capacity what I was doing in Kingdom Hearts. Never mind. How's an 8-year-old gonna parse that? I've said this before. I looked up a 45-minute lore recap of the Kingdom Hearts story because I didn't know who a character was in Kingdom Hearts 3. And I came out of it more confused. I was like, I don't have a fucking clue what any of you guys are talking about, man. And I don't feel like I should be going into a lore video confused and coming out with like a lot more questions and answers, man. I was a Viva Pinata enjoyer, by the way. I just want to let that be known. I tried to 100% it on Xbox 360, but if you have ever tried to do that, you'll know that it's a little bit harder, a little bit easier said than done. Adventure Quest is pretty good. I didn't have Guardian, but I wish I had, man. I feel like that game would have really opened up to me as like a 10-year-old if I had Guardian on that game. Cause like you could do stuff on it, but like everything, it was like RuneScape, man. It was like the game began when you put your credit card in, unfortunately. I don't know, but for me, my friends after school be playing COD, Black Ops 1, Halo Reach. Yeah, those are those are good games. But like, and I think kids still like COD and like stuff like that. But like, if you are talking about playing like, I guess like retro now, like JRPGs, or like even just like stranger titles that they've never heard of, they would think that's hella lame. And like I'm not trying to say like you should give your kid bad habits to fit in, but it's like, I'm not being funny, right? But like we've all had this thought, right? Someone you know, or someone who knows someone, named their kid something clapped, right? And you're just like, man, you're just not even giving that kid like a chance, right? That kid is like, you're pre-firing bullying on that child for zero reason. Like, there was like a YouTuber, like I think it was like Paolo in Tokyo. He named his kid like Tiger Wolverine. That was his first name and his middle name. And like, I don't know what Japanese school kids are like, you know, but like, I know that if like a kid was called Tiger Wolverine, and when I was in primary school, it's on sight on that child, I'm afraid. There was a German boy who went to my primary school who was called Marvin. And that was on sight, bro. That was around the time the episode Starvin' Marvin, South Park, came out, man. He did not have a good year. I'll tell you that, man. He moved away from that school. He did not have a good time. It was bad news. But like, I don't know, man. Elon Musk's child getting, I mean, that kid's getting homeschooled for sure, I would imagine, right? But like, it's like that, man. Like, if you're gonna introduce your kid to video games, it's really difficult, because like, you have to balance, like, is my kid gonna go into like social situations talking about Persona 3, or are they gonna like be equipped to deal with a group of young children who are really into Roblox and maybe have a chance at surviving, you know? Kids are they're monsters. They are monsters, man. Kid giving us Lauren to him. I wasn't an asshole to Marvin, bro. He let me borrow Maximo on the PlayStation 2, okay? And I never gave it back. Granted, that was an asshole-ish thing to do, but it was because I forgot, not because he left. I think we forgot and then he left. I think I still own his copy of Maximo in that cupboard. I've looked after it. Marvin, if you're out there, then listen. I think you went back to Germany, but like I've kept hold of it since then. You are the rightful heir. But people did hate Marvin, though, to be clear. Like, at the time, I didn't really understand the gravity of the situation, but I think he got like hate crimed when we were in primary school. Like, kids used to like goose step around the playground in front of him, and I didn't know what Hitler was or what he was saying at the time. But like in retrospect, I'm like, that's pretty fucked up what they were doing, actually, because this kid's just like a German child. He's not done nothing. And then they used to steal his like Pokemon cards and his Yu-Gi-Oh cards and shit like that, man. I get why he fucking moved away now, frankly. Kids are monsters, right? I was chill with him, though. You don't just let someone borrow your copy of Maximo on the PlayStation 2 if you ain't I, okay? So just want that to be said. Bad guardian. Listen, man, your parents loved you, okay? I'm sorry, no, my mom loved me. Okay, my mom. But we were poor, bro, and like, I don't know. I know it was a one-time thingy, but like, trying to convince your mother to spend like $14.99 on fucking like game online that doesn't mean anything. It's like, it's a difficult fucking stretch. It's a stretch. Someone back me up. Chico, back me up, okay? It's a difficult task to do. But I was chill. Me as an 8-year-old understood it pretty well. I mean, I played it when I was in early high school, Kingdom Hearts 1. I never finished it though. So like when I jumped from that one to the third one, because I lost interest in the series and moved only to PC gaming. But then had a PS4 at one point. I was just like, man, I really didn't think I'd be so lost. I overestimated myself, frankly, is what I did. My hubris, I was hoisted by my own petard. I was like going at this like, we're starting in the Hercules world or whatever, man. We'll probably see Hercules, maybe some Hades, man. We'll probably go catch up with some Toy Story boys. Yeah, it'll be pretty fun. Nope, no idea what's going on, man. Guy in a hooded cloak thing. Ominous music. Who the hell is this guy? Got no idea. Had a homeschool kid join the scouts group. They were in tears at the end of the first session because the other kids wouldn't listen to the grown-ups. They just couldn't comprehend kids not having respect. As one of the grown-ups, I think that kid's cool, but I can see why the other kids bully him. Yeah, I mean, listen, that's unfortunate. It is kind of like one of these things where, like, sometimes, like, I mean, I would say that, like, homeschool can produce well-rounded kids. There's no doubt about it, but at the same time, like, there's a certain je ne sais quoi about running the fucking public school gauntlet that does turn kids into, like, people that can handle a social situation, you know? So what do we got here? We've got the King's Companion. We need 30 million. I think I could have probably skipped that and gone straight to the next one, but lo and behold. We gotta get 17 million more gold. Ooh. Well, it is kind of shaking things up a little bit, isn't it? A bish bash bosh. Just gotta get as much gold as I can. The scouts helped a lot. Do you know what? That's a good call. If you are homeschooling, I think you should. If you are homeschooling, it's probably a good idea as soon as possible to get them into, like, after school activities as well. Because, like, you do not want to be 17 and having, like, the only social situations you've ever been in be with, like, someone that you're related to, you know, in some way. I don't inherently disagree with homeschooling. I just do think that, like, it can stunt social growth. But that being said, though, I feel, like, insanely bad. I don't know, maybe people here are of that age where that was something that they dealt with, and I commiserate with you tremendously. That, because I remember when we were in lockdown, during the pandemic and all that stuff, that was a couple of years of, like, you know, no socializing with people, and kids had to, like, be schooled from home. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if I was me, I'd be doing backflips because I don't have to get out of bed or get in my room or whatever. But I remember I was like, lockdown had been lifted in Scotland, and, like, you know, people would start to resume, and I think, like, I just so happened to be in my city centre the first weekend that lockdown had been lifted, and it was just because I was catching a different train to go back home from, like, a birthday thing that I was at that evening. And I was like, why is there children out at this time? And it wasn't that they were children, it was just that, like, every kid who had turned 18 over lockdown and was not able to celebrate their 18th birthday all came out at the exact same time. And there's, like, kids that looked like they were 4'7", wearing, like, leather jackets and denim jackets and all this kind of stuff, and I was like, this is nuts. But, like, I commiserate so hard with it because, like, there's a lot of kids that went through, like, already tough times in their life because they're becoming a man, or they're becoming a woman, or they're becoming, like, an adult in some fashion, or, like, hitting those, like, kind of, like, not quite adult, but, like, late adolescence that got fucked by the fact that, like, every real life socialization option that they had was ripped away from them, and all that they had, I guess that's why, like, the weird Andrew Tate, like, let's hate on women thing kind of, like, flourished and all this kind of stuff, because I think, like, a lot of young men were looking for a voice, to any voice, may I add, to guide their compass in some way, shape, or form. And I think there's probably a lot of, like, neglectful fathers out there that were not doing that job right. But I don't think that, like, a person like that could have had a voice in any other time apart from that specific time when I feel like a lot of kids were mega lost in their lives, and didn't really know what to do, or they didn't have a banner to fly or to stand under. Not saying that everybody has to have a banner to stand under. I'm not saying that if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. We're not, like, this isn't an NWA song, but, like, you know, I think it was, like, a perfect storm of circumstances that made that ideology, like, awesome. But I think, like, it falls apart under, like, any level of scrutiny, though, as well. Like, I don't know. The scouts have helped them a lot. They stuck it out with it. They've got used to the chaos. Yeah. They, like, you know, I mean, my group of friends, we definitely were a bit of a... I didn't have too many friends, but we were, like, mostly scheme rats and stuff like that. Like, you know, council housing or council housing adjacent for the most part. So, like, when we would make friends, like, one of our friends would, like, talk to a girl, and then he'd be like, do you want to go to this, like, house party? And, like, it was like a girl from a private school, or, like, a girl from, like, the best school in Glasgow, like Jordan Hill Secondary School, or one of these ones. And we would show up, and we would be, like, we would be the rough. We would be the like, the rough of the party. I'm hoping that was an enriching experience for them, to see how the other half live, you know? I pull up to, like, a literal mansion that has, like, a music studio in the basement, and, like, all this incredible stuff in their house. And you know what? I take a shit in their toilet, all the same. Leave a little surprise for them. Just a little prank. Yeah, it was good. It's good for them to see how people that, like, don't have their family, don't have generational wealth lives, you know. Not always a positive experience, granted, I'd imagine. Not just for them, but for us. I remember, like, New Year's one day. Not one day, 1 year. My friend Union, he was, I don't know if he was living in student dorms or student accommodation or whatever, but he got invited to a New Year's party, and he was taking law at Glasgow University. And Glasgow University has, like, something of a reputation. There's plenty of, like, people that are normal that go there, but, like, I guess, like, the Glasgow University accent is something that's kind of, like, ridiculed in Glasgow, because it produces a certain type of person, you know. Like, I went to Glasgow University, you know, that kind of... It's a prestigious university. People come from all over the world to attend it, and it's a good one, right? But, you know, like, it's just a uni, right? Like, at the end of the day, it is what you get out of it. So he said, can my friends come to this New Year's party? So we got invited. It's chill. We show up wearing normal clothes to this absolutely gorgeous, like, I don't know what era this house is from, but it is spectacular. Everything's mahogany, everything looks incredible, and everyone there except us is wearing, like, suits and ties and, like, gowns and, like, all of this shit, and we're showing up in, like, tracksuits and jeans and, like, t-shirts and all, man. And we, to be fair, it didn't bother us that they looked stupid, right? Because I was like, they're a bit dressed up, but at the same time, our presence there was alarming to them. And I, like, me and a couple of friends heard one of them approaching their mate being like, you have to tell your friends to leave. And we knew what the reason for that was, and it was because of, they did not think that we suited the vibe. And I guess that's fine, but that's not something you really want to hear. And it almost kicked off, but in the end we decided it was not worth it, and we left. And I teleported. I remember leaving. I was quite drunk. I must have been like 18 or 19 years old. I remember leaving. I remember looking at the pavement, and then I remember teleporting home, and that was pretty good. I do enjoy teleporting. The last time I teleported was, I think, this last New Year's. I was out with my friend Harry, who came up from England to go out with us. They did a deal on Prosecco at one of the we went to go to do bingo, like a boozy bingo thing. So you sit down, you get a bingo sheet, and you, like, press all the buttons and all that kind of thing. And then we got some bottles of Prosecco because there was, like, a deal on. And then I went out for a smoke, and then woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning in my bed, and with a bunch of text messages and calls saying, "Where are you?" And I was like, I know where I am, but I don't know how I got here. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. Must have been an autistic child, and everybody, the other kids, just kind of played pretend. My friends looked at us. Yeah, I mean, me too. I definitely like probably said a bunch of out of pocket stuff that hurt people's feelings when I was a kid because I'm stupid, but I never like I don't think went out of my way to bully another person. I've definitely like been mean, as every kid is, and said something insensitive to a person. And I do that to this day. Although sometimes it could be more intentional as an adult, because I'm like, I don't like you. I'm going to make a little backhanded comment, I think. But I loved make-believing Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, on the playground, man. My mum still refers to, like, I used to play a game called Muddy Town with my friends in playgroup, which was like basically like kindergarten, and she's like, she is multiple times in the last like year she's referred to Muddy Town, and I remember its existence, but I do not think there was any rules or really understand anything that went on in that game, so I have to just kind of go yeah every time she refers to it. I don't know, man. Playing pretend rocked, man. Playing pretend did rock. You ruined Jackie Chan for me, screw you. How'd I ruin Jackie Chan for you, man? Jackie Chan ruined himself for you himself. Yeah. Something like that. That's close enough to what I was trying to say. Listen, he sucks as a dad, bro. It ain't my fault. He should have been a better dad and maybe not like kowtowed to the Chinese government. I don't know. I hate to be that guy, because I don't want to be that guy, man. But that being said, I'm running the gauntlet of public opinion here, man. I like a Big Mac, but you like damn well know I'm not gonna eat one on stream, because people will be like, if I dare had like a container of a Big Mac on the camera, people will be like, how could you eat that? Don't you know that or whatever is wrong with them? I can't eat Jollibee. I can't do nothing. I can't drink Coke. I mean, I do drink Coke, granted, because it'd be like, the Nestle Corporation are the worst people, and I'm like, I know they're the worst people, but like, still, like, help me, man. How do we craft you? We've got the Crusher. We've got the best pickaxe-ish in the game right now. We got a lot of talents here. At the start of every mining session, your cursor has a 15% chance to turn gold. It causes each pickaxe hit to have a 20% chance to crush spotted ore. Give me Midas touch. I'm a respecter. Unveil me. Just embrace being the heel. I don't want to be the heel though. I got no interest in being the heel. I just like would love to enjoy things without. To be clear, I'm exactly as you stated. Like, I'd like to just enjoy stuff without people. Crafting I mean, we don't need that anymore. Without people being like, how could you enjoy that? Doesn't that make you the worst person ever? And I'm like, yes, it does. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. See, I'm getting a bunch of stuff here, but like, I'll be damned if I know what I'm actually buying. I'm just locked in. I mean, this has got to be 4.6 million. Double pickaxe power chance is pretty good. What do you want? That's too expensive. I can definitely get you though. I can't get all of you, but I can get you nevertheless. Too expensive. Not too spenny, but still. We must be coming to the end of this line here, actually. Now I'm just like finding things to lock in on. I think we have basically got everything we could possibly get. Okay, keep on mining. We're mining up big time still here. I don't know if, I mean, to be fair, how much do we usually get? 3 to 4 mil? We've still got like over 10 seconds left. bad, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay, 7.3. I was told someone that I can't like Liam Neeson because a few years ago he came out as being racist 4 years ago in an interview about how he regretted how he thought. Which is just opinion. You can't dislike something they did and have grown from 4 decades ago. Yeah. I think it obviously depends on if they have like displayed a level of growth since then is how you like if somebody did something, I mean it depends what it is obviously, right? But if somebody did something bad at the like I don't know, said something bad in the past, yes, the question depending there's a statute of limitations. I feel probably there should be, and it should be like have they continued to display that behavior for however long the severity of the thing would indicate in the future, right? That being said, though, you're not under any obligation to forgive that person as well, you know? Goes for like anybody. If somebody does something you don't like, you're more than within your rights to like be like, okay, I don't like that person, I'm not going to support them. And it's just the way it goes. Can't really hate on that either. I don't remember that Oscars. I don't remember that. Anyway, I'm if we're gonna talk about Liam Neeson's most recent crimes, I'm gonna go ahead and say that the new Naked Gun is probably gonna be up there with them. You know. I've never watched a trailer and been like, this is so not it. More in my life than the Naked Gun trailer that starts with Neeson. I'm just so not with it, man, even a little bit. And I'm sorry if I'd never heard of Naked Gun before or Leslie Nielsen. Okay, maybe you have something there, but I have, and I do. And there's just no comparison, buddy. You're not listening. Well, listen, man. You eat him, little bro. You eat him. They're never. It just goes to show you, man. You can't replicate him. Because of all the actors in all the world, man, you can't. In my brain, I can't replace him with a single person. Can't replace him. And I'm telling you what, if we were gonna leave, Liam Neeson would not be on the top 10. I don't even know who the top 10 would be. But I'm very, very worried that the new Naked Gun is just going to be like a bunch of people, a bunch of writers who like have watched the Naked Gun or the Police Squad series and tried to emulate it as like instead of understanding the humor and just writing the way that it was written, you know? They're like, oh, we're going to make this a Naked Gun movie. Instead of just like, we're making a movie. You know? I know that makes no sense, and I'm very confusing, but the people that get it, they'll listen, they'll get it, man. They'll get it. Oh, I forgot that I've got my level up thing. To be honest, the level up thing means absolutely nothing at this point in the game. Occasionally I get a little talent point, but I don't feel like it's changing a whole mix of things. The dopamine. Level up! Level 93. Ah! Okay. Do we think that we can afford anything here? Ooh. What the hell is the big rock? Oh, we know what we're farming for. 9,300 of the painite. I don't think I've ever hit the 3% chance. This just means your face can kind of worry. I don't think so. I don't know, you tell me. Maybe on my end. I don't know how it could be on your end. I mean, unless your screen's got like a smudge on it or something. It's because you haven't given your ID to Twitch yet to confirm that you're over the 18. So it's kind of like soft censoring me. It could just be bitrate, yeah. Collect 500 million ore. We need painite. I don't know what the hell the big rock is, but believe you me, I want to mine it. Whatever it is, I must. How crazy was it when you used to go on forums back in the day and somebody would have like a signature on a forum that was like an IP tracker? It was just like rudimentary, but it would tell you what your location and your IP is. Obviously, this was not something that the person that like had the signature could see, but it was something that would like it'd be like, I know where you are, and then it would have your generalized location, like the city you're from and your IP address. You'd be like, anybody? People remember forums and signatures? Yeah, man. There was an art, man. And also, like, I definitely spent a lot more time than I had any right to. Like, if I was on a, if I was signed up to a forum, you had to make sure your signature was on point, man, because you were gonna be there for a while. So I mean, it had to be like a picture. I mean, I would like make my own signatures and stuff like that. I remember once I made a signature for my Hidden and Dangerous 2 clan. That was like a bullet firing from a rifle, and then it would go like the bullet would be spinning, and it would have like Death Squad on the bullet, and didn't really make any sense because I guess the implication is it's a bullet with your name on it, but then the bullet had our name on it, but we were good at the game, so there wouldn't be a bullet on our name with our name on it because we would win. So you wouldn't shoot us, we'd shoot you. So actually, it didn't really make any sense. But anyway, I made that in like Flash, and I thought that was swag, and people in the clan used it, and I was like, woohoo! Can't remember what it was used on. I think it was like game battles or something like that it was used on. But I miss game battles. I don't know if it still exists. I hope it does. Just like making a little clan and doing little tournaments and like, you know, doing like kind of official scrims, because there was like an elo system on that website that, you know, if you won a game battle match against somebody, it would like give you like 80 points, 80 elo, and that was pretty cool. You think that the big rock is for the last pick? I don't really know, because I think there's like a DLC on this game that's like a supporter pack, and you get a pick with it. But I don't know if that's the one. If that's what I'm thinking of, if that's what it is. I hope not. I feel like it would tell me if that was the case. I feel like there's an extended courtesy potentially. Okay, what are we at here? Got 1.2 million, so I think we can actually afford Big Rock. Boom. Big rock. Mine the big rock. A new thing has popped up here. Start mining. Oh. Crap! Oh my god, it's the diamond pickaxe, man. You crafted the diamond pickaxe. Thank you for playing. Oh wait, do we beat the game? No! No, we're not done yet, are we? How many achievements we got left? We got 2 more achievements. What are they? What are they? Everything purchased. There's 1 hidden achievement remaining. There's got to be a way. Hold on. Is there a way for me to find out? We gotta check. We're gonna keep on mining. I think it is. I think I know what it is. And it is just doing this. Hold on. Go to the anvil. 0.4 seconds. Achievement unlocked. Diamond pickaxe. Okay. Now, we just need to work on something here. See, we got no use for like the copper anymore. I can't do anything with this copper, bro. You're peeing me off. What do we need though? I'm struggling to tell between these 2 different ores as well. It's kind of hello trolley. By the way, I tried cane topic earlier again. It did not go well again, unsurprisingly. Holy moly! Dude, the pickaxe, the diamond pickaxe goes absolutely crazy. I do feel like, given that we've crafted pickaxes like the asshole sunderer, that like a diamond pickaxe is actually kind of should pale in comparison to some of these things that we've already gotten, but it is doing the damn trick. Grandpa Ross going to see. How am I going senile again? What are we talking about, man? I'm back. You have my permission to finish the game. I've technically already finished the game, but I've not 100%ed the game, so it's like I never even played the game. I'm not done yet, put it that way. We're very close, but we're not quite done. Keep FPS, 13 months. How you doing, matey? Thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate it, brother. Upgradings, please. Okay. I got nada for that one. These are expensive. These are expensive, buddy. 325k. 251k. How to help grandma jump her car. She was stuck in probably the worst place to get her car messed up. I had a distinct lack of respect for my brother for a very long time for no reason whatsoever apart from the fact he was just my brother. But like one of the funnier moments in my life was like and this is horrible because I mean it wouldn't have gone badly, right? But there would have been some like damages to pay. Was like him driving somewhere with me in the car on like a very, very snowy day, and like a car being behind him and him not being able to get the traction to get up a hill. So he's like gunning it on the acceleration, trying to like not roll backwards. The person behind, man, granted they are in the wrong because they should have given a wide berth on this hill, right? But I was like, I was fighting back the tears of laughter, man, because I was just like, this is so funny because he is freaking out. It's real bad that I was in that situation, but I don't know, man. It was just Schadenfreude, and it was just, you know, brothers fighting and stuff like that. So I don't know, man. Him getting his finger caught in a car door when I was like a child was also an all-timer moment for how hard I've ever laughed. He was 9 years older than me, and we didn't really get on a tremendous amount when I was a kid and he was a teenager, and then when I was a teenager and he was an adult, and then I guess some of when I was adult and he was also an adult, but we aight now. But at the time, man, was an all-timer. Let's have a look at the upgrade, see if we can afford anything here. We got 1.3 million. More rocks. Okay, cool. That's been bought. That's been bought. This entire side has been purchased, which we love to see. Yes. Okay, we're close. We're close. Plasma ball damage. I'm thinking we must be very, very close here. We have got one that's like question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, and I'm like, are we missing something? Guess we'll take that then. Guess you can kind of infinitely level up here, theoretically. Ooh, it did get bigger. Ooh. Just keep on rolling, baby. I'm hoping that this should be enough to get us the last of what we need. That being said, no real guarantee. And then I've had a thoroughly good time with keep on mining, but I think it would be time to move on. The bitrate is suffering. Yeah, I don't blame it. It's fighting for its life. Okay, I guess like two more. We'll do two more. I mean, what do we need? Like a 500,000-ish, maybe slightly more. The bitrate is gonna be. I'm afraid you're gonna have to be punished for the next minute and a half, maybe. I grew up in a mining village. This game is very authentic to my experience too. That will be why that guy was like, "Why do you look out of focus and blurry?" It's because it would have been during one of these runs, and the guy. Like the bitrate was going crazy, but like most people like know that it's just like the game has too many particle effects on it. It's like the confetti effect thing happening. Okay. Purple. 600k. I think 600k actually I think is enough. Barely, but I think it is enough. It is barely enough. I'm missing one. Oh wait, it's iron? You kidding me? Achievement unlocked. Everything purchased. Chat. People of the YouTube. It has been done. View my achievements. You have unlocked every achievement. 22 out of 22. Global achievements, please. It's crazy that like 1 in 4 people that bought this game, I mean it's only been out for a couple days though, have literally done absolutely everything. Great game, great time. Thank you so much for watching this. Got a 2-parter out of it as well. I'm pretty impressed with that. You know what, we can I mean you can crank some severe upgrades out of this. I don't know if it was ever like, I really didn't get nearly as much use out of this as I like hoped to do. But that being said, it does appear that it works offline. So it's kind of like, it's what it is, I suppose, at the end of the day. Inflate burst triggers is what it was. We've mined a lot. We've had 300 mining sessions. Boy! Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a great one. I'll see you all next time for some more, probably incremental, vital, quicker games. Love you. Bye!